Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 9th Annual Destiny City Film Festival. My name is Ambriehl Turrentine. I am the Assistant Director of Marketing and Communications with the festival, and we are very happy to first have you be participating in our festival, but also we're very happy to welcome Patricia McCormack to the festival. She is the co-writer, director, and star of the film Myrtle. So, Patricia, if you want to say a few words about yourself and maybe about the film, go ahead.
Hi, well, firstly, thank you for having me. Just to correct, I'm not the writer of the film, so director, editor, but not. I didn't actually write it. But yeah, so this is my first short film directing. So I'm absolutely thrilled to have it screening with you guys, and it's been a great journey actually, and hugely rewarding, and I feel like I'm on the right path, with more projects coming up.
Great. And I want to start. So I know this film was based off of a play, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And how did the play evolve into this short film?
Well, essentially, I did the play with Megan Barker, the writer, and I was an actor in that. And the play itself it kind of had some flaws. Like there were some real strengths to it, but it wasn't. I think Megan was wanting to actually redo it and maybe try to make the plot a bit more structured. That is the backstory of the murder, etc., all of that kind of detail. But the premise had just stayed with me. I thought this is such a powerful premise. And in the play, it's the same in the sense that the reveal is at the end. So the audience find out at the end. And I was interested in making a short film. And I just thought this is kind of perfect. If we can make it work, if we can condense this down, see if the payoff will still work in a short form. So essentially it was an experiment. It was an experiment to see, with material that I really liked, if I could transfer that to a different medium.
And I'm curious, you mentioned that the premise really just stuck with you. What in particular about the premise was it that you found so powerful?
Well, I suppose, I don't know if we were telling people what happens at the end of the film, but if it's widely known, then that's fine. I suppose it's the juxtapose of someone doing this cooking presentation. That's obviously a bit, wonky. It's a bit off kilter somehow, but we don't know why. And there's a kind of comedic element to that then totally flips in itself when you realize why this woman is cooking a meal and what the context is. And it's saying something about the nature of nurture faced with the ultimate kind of, someone who's, losing their life. So, I don't know, there's something about contrasting that, the kind of act of a mother cooking a meal, an act of love, essentially, that a mother does throughout, the life of having any child, and then facing a kind of ultimate negative outcome, so to speak, and it kind of I felt, for me, it kind of brings the horror into sharp focus of what's actually happening.
And you also star in the film, so I was curious, how did you approach the character and what did you kind of want to bring to her through your performance?
Well, I suppose this is someone who has carried a lot of pain in her life, has gone through a lot of trauma. And in fact, where does it begin and end? I think before she even had this child, there's been a lot in this character's life that has been around struggle. I think it's always interesting to look at those affected that are around that are not the main story. What's the impact of something like this on the family, particularly when you've not had much luck as you roll. You've not even had money to eat. At points in your life. So I think just highlighting the kind of the quiet victims around a situation like this, and exploring their humanity,
And this was also your directorial debut, correct?
It is. It
Great.
is.
Well,
So,
go ahead.
so and I mean, yeah, it's a long time coming because I have wanted to direct. So it feels good to finally just go for it, you know?
Yeah, and congratulations on that. That's always super exciting. And since you starred in the film and were the director, I'm curious how did you kind of balance both roles, and how'd you approach taking on both of those at the same time?
Well, I think preparation obviously was key. I knew I had to be impossibly thorough in the acting preparation so that, you just can't allow yourself to be thrown. Other things are happening on the day. But I also listened to, actor directors talking about how they approached it, people that I admired. And remember one director saying that the one good note I thought was to kind of keep moving, don't get sucked into the monitor. Like it's almost like if you're acting, you have to keep rolling with it, trust your gut, maybe have an overview, but keep moving, and maybe try different ways rather than start to analyze. And then you put your director's hat back on in the edit, so to speak. So it's really in the preparation and trust in a good team. Actually, you're trusting that everyone is playing their part, so that we all move quickly together. I think that's it. Just prepare and then go for it. Was the essence of the whole thing.
And then so obviously, again, I kind of mentioned this, but how there's a lot of story that's slowly revealed. Have you ever considered maybe this being a feature film, or would you want to expand it in any way?
Yes, in short. In fact, I have a Zoom with Megan Barker, the writer, tomorrow. So she's currently working on a treatment that we're talking about tomorrow. So the idea that we're developing is really telling the story of Brandon and his mother in the lead up to the execution. So that's the intention for the feature. It's kind of would be set on a trailer drama, kind of set around in a trailer park, and yeah. So that is the intention.
Great, and we will definitely. Yeah, of course. Keep us updated on that, and we will definitely love to tune in whenever that is completed. And just another thing that we kind of touched on is the film touches base on issues related to class and capital punishment, and you mentioned unconditional love. What do you think you want audiences to take away from this story here?
Really, the human cost, I suppose. The clinical reality of what we're doing to somebody when, like a recipe, you're describing what's about to occur. I think, anything that has kind of dramatic it has a dramatic intention. Also, it's up for the audience to take what they choose to take from it. So in that way, it's not for the artist to dictate, kind of like, this is what you should feel. But I suppose from our perspective, we wanted to tell something that was honest to this particular character and to her experience, and let the rest fall. How it affects, that's not our. We look at one aspect, which is just giving truth and authenticity to this particular woman's story.
Right. And I always like to end on this question. Is there anything that I didn't ask about the film that you would like to share, maybe in an anecdote or just something else that you maybe didn't mention?
No, I think you've covered it. Like I say, as this was my first film, I feel as though it's been, I literally, I worked at an ad agency next to the British Film Institute, and I would go in there in my lunch hour reading how to make a short film books. Literally everything. So everything for Myrtle it's like been the beginnings of my film school. So it's been quite the ride, and I'm so incredibly chuffed and delighted that it's getting an audience. So thank you.
Of course, and thank you so much for sharing the story with us. I mean, it is a really impressive directorial debut. So again, congratulations on that. And we definitely look forward to seeing what comes from you in the future. So again, thanks for sharing the story with us. And thank you everyone else here for watching.
Thank you.